theticketfm.com. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it?
It's a happy Thursday
Cool.
for some people.
Good enough.
For others, it may not be a happy Thursday, but I hope it turns into a happy Thursday for those people.
Yeah.
You can listen into Old School, sponsored by Sandhills Global. Sandhills Global looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling, sports, software development, web design, and more. Career and internship opportunities are available at the global headquarters in Lincoln. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. Listen in right now to Old School. DP, Jay Foreman will join us shortly. Rico, we will bring you some of the happenings, and we'll hopefully turn your not-so-happy Thursday, if that's what's happening, into a happy Thursday.
It's a great Thursday. It's a great Thursday. I am a little. What's the word? Reluctant.
Reluctant.
Hesitant.
For?
Dental procedure.
Ah.
Yeah, it's the other half of that.
More mouth surgery.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
It's just not fun. Like, there's no way I can wrap my brain around it being fun, and trying to make it, like it'll be better for me once I'm done.
Mouth surgery, bad.
Yeah. It just, so it's after the show, and then you've got to spend, 4 or 5 hours letting it just marinate, and it's
like this is going to happen,
right. And then
unless you cancel it, but then it's just going to happen later.
You can't eat.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Can't. Well, one, because my face will be numb. First of all, it'll be numb and swollen. I'll look like I just went 9 rounds of Mike Tyson. And then as it wears off, then the damage is assessed.
Then you actually see what's up.
It's this is all the stuff you did. And the last time they told me that we didn't give you enough anesthesia. We didn't give you enough.
Oh, thanks.
Or whatever it was. We didn't give you enough.
No.
They're like, you're a big dude, and probably we should give you more. And I try to explain to them that no matter when I have like a medical procedure, the doctors, surgeons, whatever, figure out early on, my goodness gracious, this stuff doesn't work on me. So you have to do more. And I'm like, whatever you think you should give me more. So when I broke my finger in 3 places, and they had to go in and put pens in it. And so in my pinky, you can see, I've got.
There's a bump.
You can see where the pen. Yeah.
Your pinky dips. Like if you look at it from the top, it's like a little.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness going on.
Like your pinky is a bowl.
Yeah,
you might be able to eat cereal out of your pinky.
Yeah, I've got those hands, those fingers of people.
At least it's not like sideways, like
Well, that was the big fear, because when I broke it, when I dislocated it, it was.
That would have been fun.
It was like that. it was literally like it looked like. Okay, that thing,
and Booger McFarlane's fingers,
right? And
they're disgusting,
right? And he said the surgeon said, okay, so what we have to do is reintroduce your pinky finger to the rest of your hand.
Hey, I'm Pinky.
You may have forgotten me.
Sometimes I wear rings.
Right. And so as the surgery's going on, so they numb from the shoulder down.
Okay.
And they put it on this plank. So it's like a plank, right? And well, so
that's
but
funny.
Yeah, I know, but that's what it is. So they put a sheet.
Well, yeah, so you can't see them digging into your hand,
right? You can't see it. But I woke up in the middle of surgery. And I was like, oh, of course I'm buzzed, right? I'm like, oh my goodness. They're doing surgery on somebody's hand. That is awesome.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
And you're like, that's my hand.
No, it never connected that was my hand. I was watching. When you talk about surreal, yeah, I'm looking at, I'm just going, that is, because it's pinned, because the hand is pinned to the board. So you don't just like move it.
Like those creepy bug people that pin bugs to boards.
Yeah.
Just to have your hand there, just
your arm is just strapped to this thing. And I'm just like,
bad hand.
That is awesome. Like, you're doing some that. Look at that.
So that's what the inside of a hand looks
like.
Right.
And they're like, oh, hit him again. Hit him again.
Uh-oh.
So when
That's not good.
Right, when I came out of it, the doctor's like, "Yeah, we probably should have given you more."
I've never had major surgery or anything where I've had to be put under. Although my dentist keeps telling me I have my 2 wisdom teeth on the top, and she's like, "We might as well just do it before they start causing you pain."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I should."
'Cause
And
they
then
are.
I never schedule
Because
it.
they are, and they will.
She's like, "If you ever feel like, your sinuses are plugged, or you're just getting pain like right up here, like kind of goes towards your nose, that's your wisdom teeth, and they're gonna have to be pulled." And I was like, "Okay,
Yep.
I'll wait for the pain,"
Yep.
even though everybody says not to wait for the pain. I'm
Don't
like,
wait.
I don't know when to just be like, "Hey, DP,
No,
I'm gonna be gone for however long. I can
do
get my
it
teeth pulled."
whenever you need to do that.
But also, Rachel's had her wisdom teeth pulled, and she's like, "Yeah, I can't eat certain foods, and I have to like wash out my tooth holes." I was like, "I don't want to do that."
Well, they fill, like they fold and they blend.
I know, but you have to like for the first couple of days, you have to like make sure you clean it out so no food gets into it.
Water.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to do that because
And
I'm
you get
gonna
the
forget.
water pick and everything else, and you got to be careful about it. So when they did,
Like I'm trying to eat pizza. I don't want to clean it out.
No, you give up all that. Like today is a bouillon soup kind of night. Like I know dinner's gonna suck today.
Tragic.
That's gonna be terrible. So it was. If I did the body part, like the pins, so pins and screws in the foot, the pinky toe of the left foot, one of the main bones of the left foot, right foot, right in the middle plate.
As I've told many people before, you are more robot than man.
Yeah.
This guy keeps sending pictures of Tori Holt's fingers. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Tori Holt's fingers look disgusting.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
get those pictures out of here.
But see, the thing I say this is I'm double jointed in my fingers,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody said the first guy that recruited me in college football, what he wanted to see was my fingers. He goes, "My goodness gracious, you have receiver's hands." He goes, "I will sign you just from that." So head coach from University of Richmond, because he goes, "Because your fingers bend at a I have extra flexibility in my fingers," and he goes, "That's going to allow the ball to stick on your
just
hand
sit
a little bit easier, right?" And he goes, "If I try to do my
I can't do that. Mine stays straight."
Yeah. So there's a little bit of alien in me.
I got none of that.
Yeah. No, this is what. Yeah, I can literally from there. So
I'm hurting my fingers trying to do this.
Right. So see how far that bends.
There you go. Look at that. There it is. See that? Now I'm double jointed too.
Right. So through all of that, and then the torn bicep, I woke up in that one, but they took a video of them pulling the ligaments out.
Professor Rick says he's tired of DP talking about his surgeries. Make it stop, and a puke emoji.
Professor Rick, I'm sorry.
That's a lot of surgeries. Maybe you should be more careful.
Spinal fusion. Well, I thought I was being careful.
Stop jumping off of roofs or whatever you're doing. I don't know what's happening.
What the doctor said. So this is the final. So when they finally figured out that
everything was broken.
So I had a spinal fracture. So I had an actual fracture on one of the bones on my spine.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then I had 2 herniated discs. And he goes, "Okay." So, and first of all, they couldn't find it. Like they didn't identify it early on. And he goes, "Listen, here's the way this works. If you played a sport every year for 30 years, the wear and tear on your body would require some fixing."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "But you've been coaching 3 sports for 30 years. And now the bill is due."
Yeah.
The bill's due.
Very expensive.
The last baseball game I coached was with a sling because that's when I tore the bicep. I literally was trying to coach.
Yeah.
With a torn bicep. I coached the entire basketball season with 2 herniated discs. I was getting spinal injections before each game.
It's a lot of walking around and like standing and up and down. And...
So I was sitting. So imagine that the team got pillows for me to sit on.
Nice.
And the officials are like, "So we finally figured out how to get you to sit down."
Perfect. Just herniate his discs.
Right. And then I coached the entire baseball season with those herniated discs. And
again, that's a lot of standing up.
That's a lot of coaching.
And I'm sure you made the walks to the pitching mound.
Batting practice, like all the stuff in space, right? So
you should have got a scooter.
I really
like
should have.
Wheelchair, new wheel.
And
up
then the
to it.
last game of the season, I'm coaching third, and we were losing like 5-2 going in the bottom of the last inning. And then we rallied. It was so funny because Becky pulled into the parking lot, and I could actually see her walking in, and I was like, we're going to win. Becky got here. We're going to win. We score 2. Tying runner is on third. Go-ahead runner's winning runner is on second. And best hitter up, he hits a rocket straight at me in the coach's box. And it's that thing. Do you go matrix? Do you
How are we dodging this?
Like, how are we? Remember,
everything.
Herniated disc. Everything hurts.
Metal is everywhere.
Everything hurts. And I'm trying to make a decision. What do you do?
Did
Can
you eat
Olay it? Can you, do you Olay it? What do you do?
Do you drop down?
Right? And so what I did was I kind of matrixed. I kind of leaned away from it.
Sounds bad with the herniated disc.
With the herniated disc. And then the thing was, once the ball passed, I had to figure out how to land.
Yeah, there's no safe there's no safe way to land.
And
there.
everybody knew I was hurt, so you could hear everybody go, "Oh, is that thing?" I'm landing. I'm laying on the ground, and I just look up, and my players run over, and they're trying to help me up. And they're like, "You okay? You okay?" And I'm like, "I just need one more pitch. He'll win the game for us, and we can shut it down." And the next pitch, he hits a line drive. It's a line drive for the win, and that was the last time I coached.
And you're like, perfect, I'm done.
I'm done. Like, I'm really done. I'm really, really done. And then I really was done, because when the surgery was done, that's when they punctured me and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
I was in bed for 6 months.
Mm.
I was in bed for 6 months. Just shout out to my Brody. My rescue dog laid on the bed with me, and he just
puppies
chilled. Puppies are the best. So anyway, that's not the direction I was going to go.
Jay Foreman, DP's had a lot of surgeries.
yeah. It's a whole thing of there. So if you're going through, so if I get through today, you and Jay may have to carry tomorrow. If everything goes well, I'll be here.
Okay.
If it doesn't go well,
I hope everything goes well.
I hope it goes well, because I don't want to do that to you. So we'll do that anyway. We will elevate the mood.
Yeah.
The greatest segment in all of sports radio history coming up next.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a Ready Next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The problem is when NIL was first instated, the NCAA was just like, okay, well, we're taking a step back. Go ahead, do it. You guys handle everything you want, universities, and feel free to deal with this as you see fit.
In my opinion, when you insert that word contract and you have an agent, that's when it becomes more professional-like and less about a college athlete making some money off of their name, image, and likeness.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I love this song.
I really do. Anything DMX, I'm all in.
There's a Jay-Z story about DMX that I've seen the video so many times I can't even remember the story, but it's hilarious. And I have to find it.
Oh yeah, where he compares. He said that he was DMX open for him.
Yes, and he was like, I don't. Yeah, everybody was like getting hype, and he took his shirt off and everything, and he goes, I gotta follow that.
I gotta do.
Everybody was singing like every word and just extremely like just hyped.
Yeah,
and he's like, why you make me go on after DMX?
He's got 50,000 people barking. And I'm supposed to follow that? What do you want me to do?
You get 50,000 people barking. You know you've done something right.
I saw him in DC.
That would have been one concert. If you would have told me that I would have gone to that.
I actually saw him in Park City, Utah,
and I am
he came up
sad.
He came up for the movie festival, and he was in this club that probably held 2,000 people. I don't think I've ever, like, you know, you at a place and you just sweat through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had those moments.
Yeah. We're standing next to, it's like Tara Reid and who's the guy from American Pie?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
Right.
There's those actors.
And
You know their face.
they were all there just in this little small club. It was all actors and celebrities, and DMX is just destroying the place. And then you leave and you're just like, oh, I need to go home and take a nap now. This was
for 3 days.
Yeah. It was.
I am tired.
Yeah. So, all right, Rico, hit me.
I woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Hiding from the ghost in a scary black hat. So trick your treat and tell me what's up with that. Ooh-wee.
Halloween version.
What's up with that? What's up with that? Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up?
Finish strong.
With that? Ooh, yeah. Stop. Yeah.
Yes.
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 What's up, Rico?
All righty. All right. I gotta reopen this one. Give me 1 second. Alabama football coach Nick Saban said some words yesterday.
Saban being Saban.
Saban said some words yesterday, and the words that he said are let's see if I can get this right. All right. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year, talking about Texas A&M. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, likeness. We didn't buy one player, all right? But I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it. It's tough.
Aw.
Man, I wish I could not buy a single player and be second in the country in recruiting.
Aw.
Or
Hey.
what? Or maybe they were third behind A&M and Georgia. I don't know.
Well, so
But top five? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry you got 4 5 stars and didn't have to pay.
But
You
did he?
still paid.
But did he? Yeah. Like,
Saban, you still paid.
yeah,
You don't have to. You don't have to lie.
Like, you don't have to lie, Craig.
Like, I understand that Texas A&M probably offered those kids more, but you paid those. You don't have to lie to us.
Here's
Saban, you've been getting like 12 5 stars every single year. You can't tell me there's no money being moved around.
You don't like when somebody moves in your neighborhood and starts shopping at your store.
Yeah.
Like he understands. Like he understands.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
I have the best vegetables, and I don't like it when people come from other neighborhoods and get my vegetables.
Jimbo walking in with his funny accent. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Taking my potatoes.
well, you know, I mean, it's like when you find a great butcher, you don't like it when other people start showing up.
It's like your underground
it's
thing.
yours. This is mine.
It's like when you find a new artist and you're like, yeah, I like this artist.
I
Nobody else
liked
knows.
it before you did.
And then all of a sudden they become mainstream and you're like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I don't want everybody at this concert.
You know what, Saban? To really show people how great of a coach you are and you don't need those players. You need to pay them. You should start going after 2-star players.
Yeah,
3-star players.
Yeah,
you show them, Saban.
That's funny. Oscar Howie says, Rico, I played that Give That Wolf a Banana to my youth group, and it flopped hard. They thought they would love it, but they just stared at me.
Don't worry. I played it for my wife thinking, I was like, she'll like it. And she just looked at me and she goes, what are we listening
Well, you
to?
have
And
to
I
show
go,
the video.
I was like, it's funny. I showed her the video. She's like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Well,
I was like, I'm sad now.
No, that's part of the brilliance is that this is really dumb. Like the whole William Hung thing. It's like, it's really dumb, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be rocket science. Thomas and Lincoln says the Halloween version isn't as good.
I'll get the other versions.
Yeah, we're just flexing.
Been working on it. Yeah.
Flex it up.
Look, I couldn't play the regular version because Mr. isn't here.
Yeah.
Mr. Big Shot.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Secret Agent.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. Yeah, he's trying to figure it out. I can tell you, my friends loved it though.
Good.
Yeah, my friends loved it.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, they
That's all
thought.
that
Well,
matters.
what they loved was the other one.
Yeah, well, that one's great.
They really love the other one. They like.
Yeah, you can't play that one for your youth group.
No, no, you cannot. No, you cannot. Yeah, my friends were all kind of all over that.
But yeah, Nick Saban upset that Texas A&M is paying players.
You're on the king of you're top of the heap.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime somebody comes for you, you got to do it. Now, I guarantee you, what that was a call to financial arms for the folks there, and like that's all that is.
If Alabama isn't number one in recruiting next year,
it's a fail.
I'd be surprised.
It's a fail. Well, what'll happen is that they will raise more money than anybody.
I want to look at the recruiting rankings. I want to look at the 5 stars, and I want to see how many both of those teams have. And I want to make like a prediction now on how many Alabama will get next year.
Yeah, they will have all of them next year.
Not all. Well, if they win the national championship, yes. If they don't, then they'll have half of them.
Well, if somebody else in the SEC wins the national championship, they'll have half. But I kind of
just assume that somebody from the SEC is going to win the national championship.
But then I'll ask that question then, like, of those coaches, who would you want to play for, right? Like,
ooh,
right?
That is a question,
right? Like, how would that line up for you? Because
so Saban, smart.
Because first of all, if you're in that neighborhood, you've got money. So
yeah.
Any player or school in those. If you're being recruited by Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M, guess what? You're getting cash.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right. So then, now that you know that you're getting cash, then it's a question of how much. And there are very few people who we know exactly how much cash they would get based on ratings, rankings, or otherwise. So if you're the top 10 players of the country, it's going to almost be like the NBA. There'll be rankings and otherwise. And you go, look, okay, Derrick Henry coming out of college, guys coming out of high school. Remember, he still had to stay behind, 3 other running backs. He wasn't the dude, right?
Yeah.
So the 3 dudes in front of him are already getting money, and that standard is already set. Then you're now going to recruit the next great thing.
Yep.
You have some idea that it's the next great thing because everybody wants it. Then you have to all determine what that number is. This thing's going to flip.
I love it.
Yeah, it's going to flip. It'll be chaos. We'll ride along. Get us out of here.
All right. Next up. You know what? I kind of want to go to the recruiting rankings for those couple SEC schools and see how many 5 stars those teams got and kind of discuss that a little bit and see.
Okay.
Maybe talk about a little bit of money switching hands. Who knows? Up next on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brown Shoe Fit is gearing up for spring with new inventory on the way. They're stocking up on new spring sandals and athletic shoes daily in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Keen, Merrell, On, and many, many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrax. Spring is the season to be active and busy. Don't let your feet lose their support with old rundown shoes or sandals. Stop by Brown's Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hot, breezy conditions here for our Thursday. We top out at 95, southwest winds gusting over 25. We will see a chance of isolated thunderstorms late this afternoon, but especially into this evening. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low 57. Much cooler tomorrow, much more typical for this time of year. We'll top out at 71. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Adventure Golf Center is open for business with 2 mini golf courses and a 3rd course on its way within the month. Enjoy the current courses as well as the batting cages and a shaved ice food truck, and prepare for a new putting course completely uncommon in Nebraska and the Midwest with 18 holes of par 3s, 4s, and 5s, and a bar on the course. Oh yeah, Adventure Golf Center now sells alcohol too. Play the courses now and prepare to experience the new course within the month at Adventure Golf Center, 56th and Old Chain.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln, and has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
2022 is all about staying well. And guess what? There are lots of easy ways to take care of your mental and physical health every day, like eating right and exercising, taking vitamins, drinking water, scheduling those annual doctor's visits, or just resting. That's right, even a quick nap counts. Because let's be honest, these days we could all use a little more wellness in our lives. So stay well, Nebraska. For more ways you can stay healthy, visit staywellnebraska.com.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 on Old School on this wonderful Thursday here in beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska. Join us on our conversation of recruiting and 5 stars and the SEC drama between beautiful shopping centers and not beautiful shopping centers being invaded by other competitors.
Yeah.
Nick Saban upset at Jimbo for invading his shopping center and taking his fantastic potatoes.
Yeah, he went straight to the butcher.
Straight up took his delicious steak. You can join us on that conversation. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline, or the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Shoot us a comment on any of those. We can throw it up on the screen. We can read it. Everybody else can read it. We can have ourselves a good old time.
I mean, it's so let's spin this back 30 years ago.
Okay.
Right.
I'm -2. Let's go.
Right. 30 years ago. Let's spin it back to 1994.
Okay.
95.
Okay, I'm 2. Let's go.
All right. And Nebraska's on top of the mountain.
Of course. Where they belong.
How did they get there? Is it through recruiting? Is it development? Is it talent? How did they get there? Right? Talent.
Yeah.
Right? And then development, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because friction was required. So they put a bunch of talented people together and let them compete.
Mm-hmm.
They had great boundary. Right? Was Nebraska number 1 in recruiting then? I would say not, because it was Nebraska in 90. Think 92.
Mm-hmm.
Or think, go back to the triplets.
Yeah.
Okay. Go back to Turnergill, Rozier, Pryor.
Okay.
Are they number 1 in recruiting then? Because Rozier's coming from junior college, right?
Mm-hmm. I would say no.
Right? So there's a way.
I'd say there's some other schools ahead. Probably at that time, maybe Miami,
Oklahoma.
Yeah, ahead of them back then.
Right.
In the 90s, they'd be. I feel like they're still like in those. If you're going recruiting rankings, they're probably still in the top 5, but I don't know if they're number 1.
So there's a way.
Well, maybe one of those classes was number 1 because there was one
Prior to
class
that
they're
Notre
talking about.
Notre Dame recruiting, USC recruiting,
Yeah, Miami still,
right? Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
So in those spaces, right, there was a way for Nebraska to get into the top 5 of recruiting, whatever that thing was.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever was there saw Nebraska coming. They're like, wait a minute, what's going on in Lincoln? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to adjust. So then in 98, the rest of the country is reacting and responding to Nebraska's success, trying to figure out what is Nebraska doing. Now, Coach Osborne leaving,
that
changed,
puts a hamper
right
on recruiting.
But had Osborne stayed, the rest of the country would have been trying to figure out, how is Nebraska winning 3 out of 4? And what can we do
to get to that point?
To get to that point and catch up, right? And then pass them.
Yeah.
There is a way for Texas A&M to pass Alabama. There's a way.
I mean, you've seen it in the past. I mean, Georgia did it. Clemson's done it.
Well, what Nebraska needs to look at is what Ohio State's doing, or Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think that Wisconsin is the greatest recruiter.
Wisconsin really isn't doing what they're doing. Is they're getting a collection of talent that fits them. They're not going out and getting the best person on the market. They're still putting their name out there for the best person on the market. Well, I believe that, but they're not always focused on, best player available. They're focused on best player available for their system. And then when they get them in, they develop them to such a high level that it all just fits like one seamless puzzle piece.
So Ohio State is the target.
Yes.
Is the apex. Who's the target for what? Right. So what?
Probably Wisconsin.
What Texas A&M is doing to Alabama and what Georgia is doing to Alabama is what Nebraska should be trying to do for Ohio State. Like they've got a target.
Now, I think in that instance with Georgia and Texas A&M with Alabama, more specifically with Georgia and Alabama, Georgia was closer to reaching that point than Nebraska is to reaching Ohio State.
Oh yeah, there's no
so
question.
they just had to
there's
change
a way though.
There is a way, but they just had to change a couple of things to get to that Alabama pinnacle. Nebraska's going to have to make multiple more changes to reach that Ohio State, but to reach a Wisconsin or an Iowa.
See, this is where.
Is this where we reach it?
This is where the competitor in me starts throwing fists in the air.
Oh, it's not impossible. It's totally possible.
Like you said it so matter-of-factly that Nebraska can't reach Ohio State.
Oh, I'm not saying that they can't reach them. I'm just saying
Can
as of right now,
can they?
They can, but right now, I don't think so.
What's it going to take? Right, like we spend so much time with the minutia.
Yeah.
Right. Offer. Somebody got offer. Distraction.
It's just taking what you have currently in your pantry and making something delicious out of it.
So you're working with Scrabble instead of bacon?
Yes. You can make something good, but it's not going to be creme de la creme 5-star restaurant good.
But why? Nobody's told me why Nebraska can't be that. Because it has been.
Look, the why
volleyball figured it out.
The why right now for Nebraska football, why you can't take Scrabble and make it into a 5-star meal where Ohio State has bacon and can make it into a 5-star meal is they have a better chef.
But they changed chefs and still have a better chef.
That was an apprentice chef
Well,
that was learning from that chef.
Well,
that was somebody that was learning under Gordon Ramsay for years.
Right? Like
I don't know who our apprentice chef was learning under.
So,
but he had his own job at a separate restaurant and decided to bring all of those ingredients and all of those menu items to this restaurant. Where
are they getting talent because of the coaching?
They're getting talent
because it's not the best facility.
They're getting talent from what the coaching could be.
It's not the best facility, so nobody would.
And they're getting talent off of what the restaurant used to be.
Would we say that Ohio State has a better stadium?
I like the Horseshoe.
Better game experience?
Never experienced that one.
Well, right? So
I've heard good things about
you
it.
can compare it to Michigan, right? And say, okay.
Heard there's this the big house it looks nice. It looks cramped, but it looks nice. But that's kind of part of the mystique.
Right. So has the real damage been done because of acceptance of less?
No. I think the damage was done from the damage that has been done was from the non-acceptance of what you were getting. And I understand that because where you have been, where you were, was not what you were getting in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But it was a place where many other schools would have been happy. But from where you had been, from the road that you had taken, from the areas you have been, the national championships, the being undefeated in multiple seasons, to winning 9 games and getting blown out in 2 of your losses.
But that
was not
important.
It was not, but that was the part that people couldn't accept.
But this is my frustration with
and
it
that's
now.
that's how you got to this situation, is because you had 9 wins and you had maybe in that spot you just had to make a couple of changes. Just a couple of changes, not wholesale changes.
You destroyed an entire house because you were mad that one of the light switches would blink during your biggest party.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of focus.
And the fridge made noise.
Yeah,
like a lot of noise.
Okay, but you could replace the fridge easily.
Well, not the foundation made a lot of noise. We'll go with that. the head coach is the foundation made a lot of noise. It was a very loud foundation.
This is the part, right? So as Saban talks about the noise being made by Texas A&M and Georgia in the space, and he's getting people to rethink Alabama football. Here's what's required for Alabama football to stay on top, right? And he's going to use this to get all the things he needs to get.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it seems like Nebraska has used that attention to get things that won't help them become Ohio State. You're getting facilities and such, but are you actually getting better? Are players getting better? Are coaches doing better? Is the fan experience better? Is it? Like, there are things to fix about Memorial Stadium.
Yes.
So why would you not fix that first? Because that's where the money and the revenue is.
Good question.
You know that you're not you have the money to go and recruit in today's game and age, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have money.
Nebraska's tailor-made for this,
right?
This age.
So if you told me that you had to spend $4 million more in recruiting than Ohio State to get what Ohio State gets,
doable.
You should do it because that's what Georgia's doing. Georgia's like, look, we got to spend $8 million more to catch Alabama.
That's what Texas A&M did.
Texas A&M's
I
like,
don't know how much they spent, but they spent a lot.
We got to spend 12.
They got 8 5-stars compared to Alabama's 3. They spent a lot.
Through all of this, there is a way, and that's the thing from this whole Saban thing. There is a way for Nebraska to pay attention and use this for the greater good. For the greater good, which is, I don't want Ohio State sitting on a pedestal thinking that you can't reach them.
Mm-hmm. You're not untouchable.
Right? But then you have to change the way Nebraska approaches everything. And the approach, like we were talking to Sipple and Jake this morning, they were talking about 6-6. And I'm like, you just not even going to try to get into Ohio State's house? Like you trying to get in Minnesota's house. You're trying to get in Indiana's neighborhood.
I don't like Indiana's neighborhood. Minnesota's got a decent house. It's not the house I want.
I don't understand.
It's like a starter house.
I don't understand the acceptance that.
I don't know if it's acceptance.
Well, you just said Ohio State's untouchable, but pretty much.
I didn't say they were untouchable.
I
said at this current state of Nebraska, it's going to be very difficult to touch Ohio State.
Yeah, but if you're going to touch Ohio State ever, you better plan now.
You got to get some changes.
Like
you better start making the changes now.
Right. So when we're talking about recruiting and focus, that there's money. If you've got all these different NIL collectives, what result did you get?
No 5-stars and 2 4-stars.
Shoot higher.
Oh, they were shooting.
You can't tell me you were shooting higher because we didn't hear the conversations about the top 5 quarterbacks who were in
just the one.
Just the one.
That was the one that everybody else wanted. That was the one that you wanted.
Did you get a top 5?
Well, I don't know who they're targeting now.
Who are they targeting that they cannot get? Because there's a thing that each of these players require.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically,
every player had, like, we know what the playing field is,
mm-hmm.
right? There is a number that gets every player that you're interested in to Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Fair? Is that a fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you know that number.
But I do feel as if the number isn't the only thing. There are some intangibles with some of those players where even if you can give the number that they're looking for, the number that would normally get them there, there are some other intangible things about the program.
There is a drop dead number. Talking to these athletes, there is a drop dead number where you put that number on paper and say, this is what I want. And again,
are you willing to throw that number at one person?
Well, here's the thing.
Hoping that they can change your program?
Somebody is. What do you think's happening at Texas A&M? Why do you think Nick Saban is speaking about it? Because he knows that the people who the numbers are being met.
Mm-hmm.
How does he know? Because the players are telling them, "Look, coach,
is there a way?
$2 million. You give me $1 million, but they give me $2 million.
But is there a way that you can kind of package something with that player where you have that money that you can give them, but you say, hey, how about we give you this much?
No.
We go out, we get this dude that you want to play with, we give him this much. You guys play together, and you get to your second year, we can up that.
We're not even talking about those numbers.
No package deals?
We're not even talking about that. We're talking about a university that at anywhere from $120 to $160 million in surplus every year.
Yeah.
Not just a year, every year. Right? And yeah, you had the 2 COVID years, but okay, you're back in the game now. And those numbers not only have regenerated, but now they're advancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside of that bubble, you have people who are throwing what we're told is millions of dollars into play.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you the question. Have you seen millions of dollars being spent in this football program as a collective? The answer is no.
No.
So where's the money?
It's in the new facility.
No, we're talking about the people who said specifically.
Oh, this is for the
This is for NIL.
Oh, then I don't know where that money's
Okay,
at.
that's what I'm talking about. There's a way
I don't know
for
where that went.
all of this for Nebraska. Here's what I want for Nebraska fans, and you guys can tell me I'm wrong for thinking this way or not. But please tell me if I'm wrong. What I want for Nebraska fans is for the people in positions of power and authority to be collective and positive in how they use their resources, because there are numbers. Texas A&M's region, they got together and came up with a number and said, this is the number that gets us all the players we want to get.
Mm-hmm.
And we're willing to support that. I want the Nebraska fans to have that.
Is it more money for Nebraska because you haven't been winning as opposed to Texas A&M because they have been winning? For the same player.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
For the same player, let's say a 5-star quarterback wants $4 million from Texas A&M. Is it going to take 5 or 6 from Nebraska because you haven't
better find out.
You haven't produced an NFL quarterback and you haven't been winning games?
Listen, if you are 18 years old and somebody offers you $3 million cash now, unless you have $3 million cash, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's life changing.
Well, two schools offer you $3 million.
It's life changing, right?
Oh yeah,
life changing. So let's move in that space. That's all I'm asking.
You can move in that space.
Nebraska
can move in that space.
I just think Nebraska have the resources. That's all. And you're talking about people who are changing collegiate programs. So if they can change Oklahoma, if they can change Clemson, if they can change Georgia, if they can change A&M and Alabama, they can change Nebraska.
Yeah.
And if you can't get the top 10, then look at the second 10 or the third 10. Let's just not look at the 20th 10.
Don't start there.
Right. Like
start at the top and move your way down.
That's all. But we'll talk more. We'll talk more about it when we come back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29 $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey, it's Nelson. Isn't it a great feeling when a company has your budget in mind instead of trying to squeeze it all out of you? That's why Caterpillar Vapes has been voted a fan favorite among premium e-juice, CBD, and Delta-8 customers year after year. And now they're here in Lincoln. Returning customers are always enjoying weekly deals and perks, and new Caterpillar Vapes customers get 50% off their entire first purchase. A company that cares about their customers. Crazy, right? In a hurry? Try the drive-thru. Caterpillar Vapes, 2601 North 11th Street, and online at caterpillarvapes.com.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's Favorites.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, old school on a Thursday, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Join us on this conversation. Money, recruiting, football, schools, everything. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Sartor Heyman text line, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Throw your comments on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers live video stream. We'll throw it up on the screen. We'll answer your questions, your comments, your concerns about any of this, because I know you guys have some.
Well,
we'll try to answer them.
Well, I mean, like Dusty says this, what up, fellas? If multiple schools hit that number, we still lose a lot of them because kids want to win. Now, the people that we're talking about are the people who create wins. That's who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's not 5,000 high school seniors in America who can help a college team win next year.
Very few.
Right? So we're talking about a very finite pool of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's simply say, so how many 5-stars are there every year in football? Give me that number. Find that number for me, Rico.
Okay.
The number of 5-star and 4-star football players in America. And remember, that changes in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even gotten into basketball. And the fact that there's zero reason why you can't get 5 players.
Yeah.
Right. There's zero reason, but that's another conversation. Maybe we'll do that next segment. But how many 5-star football players are there every year? 5-star and 4-star.
Usually like 34.
Okay.
Is what it says.
So
it's like mid 30s.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
So let's for the sake of this, let's say 30.
Yeah.
And then there's 100 4-star.
There's a lot.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot. There very few 5-stars, a lot more 4-stars, a lot more 3-stars. That's just
okay.
Okay.
So
you have to be some type of special to go up to 5-star, and then that other 5-star.
So let's
drops
say
down.
200 4 and 5-star.
Yeah.
Right. And then as whoever the decision makers are in this area for Nebraska to say, in order for us to be on the level of Ohio State, we need to better what Ohio State's doing in this particular area. right? You're still going to have to be at Ohio State level in development. You're still going to have to do it in reputation. But in this space, you at least have control, right? So 200 players, let's say that. And Nebraska could say, in our positions of need, or in simply we want the best players we can get, to find out what those 200 players needed. You don't need to get all 200 of the players.
No.
You don't need to get all 200 of them. Let's say you target and say, we need to get 5 of the 30 5-stars.
Ohio State got 3 5-stars, 17 4-stars.
So they got 3 and 17. We need to get, in order to catch up, we need to do more than they're doing. So you need 5 5-stars. Let's just say 4.
Okay, so 4 5-stars and
all right. Let's say whatever. That those 5-star all, let's just for conversation, it's $1 million.
It's $1 million a piece.
$1 million,
easy.
$1 million.
4 million done.
Right.
That's jump change. That's one game day.
Right. So then the 4-stars. We need 17. Probably $500,000 gets them in the door.
500 for how many 4-stars?
For each one. For 17.
17. So $500,000, 17. Give me like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So Brad from Baldwin says just winning at a level consistently, and the kid it'll take care of itself. But see, here's the thing. Recent history hasn't existed, and you can't change the winning aspect of it without doing anything different.
Yeah.
Right. We understand the definition of insanity. Right. So you now have to change what you're doing, and you have to stop thinking the way you were thinking. Think the way the people who are having success think. Copy success. That's business 101, and we're talking about business. So let's say that we're 6 million in.
Well, that was the 8.5 million for the 17.
8.5. So that puts us at 12 million.
Yeah, 12.
Remember,
again,
surplus.
Easy.
You're at 100, and the program that pays for all the other programs is at a surplus of $100+ million.
12 million is couch change,
and that's whether you're winning or losing. Right?
Yeah. Because
you
haven't been winning. Okay, and you're still there.
Now, what if we just said, "Hey, we're gonna cap this at 10% of our surplus per year, so we still have $120 million in surplus."
Okay.
So we can do the kind of business that we want to do, and get the kind of players we want to get, without changing much of what we do, other than how we allocate money that we already have.
Yeah.
And that we're going to have more of by getting these people. Right? Because we see the excitement of people. We're getting bargain basement 4-stars, right? We're getting yard sale 4-stars, but we're not getting those guys up front where we can get them in the system and keep them in the system. And remember, this is every year. So now you're setting a standard, and you're never going below it.
That shouldn't be difficult. 12 and a half. We'll
That's
just put 15 million a year on recruiting. Doesn't sound difficult.
That's just within the football program as it currently stands. Now, what we're told is that there are outliers that are putting together buckets of money just for NIL situation scenario. Do you think that the big time supporters would put up $10 million to raise the elevation of the program?
Yes.
They've done
easily.
it because they've done it.
Yeah.
They've done it.
Well, you saw how much they put up for the new facility.
Why isn't the focus there? Why isn't this being done? Like, we spend time chasing. Listen, this is why I put down the commitment, the offer conversation. It's minutia. I'm not. That's a waste of time for me.
They sent too many offers out to even keep track of.
Well, because the offers don't have, doesn't have lead in the pencil.
Yeah.
There's no pop. In pro wrestling term, there's no pop, right? That when Nebraska comes to the table, like, oh boy, here we go. Because we know what we're working with. We know what we're working with. There is a way to do it. But it's not going to happen if people accept 6-6 as okay. But if you're cool with where you are, because at 3-9, you're still making $150 million in surplus. What is the urgency to change it? Like you
That's
understand?
disgusting.
Right?
That's disgusting.
Right?
You win 3 games a year.
I'm
and you're
just
still making
Dusty
that much.
says this. What's up, Dusty? Another problem is the majority of our top-rated guys haven't stayed here for more than 2 years. Again, if I'm in a fight, if I'm in a gang fight, and I don't have any dudes next to me, I'm going to get my tail kicked.
Mm-hmm.
But I can stay in the fight if I got some dudes. When you talk about those old Husker teams, they talk about how much depth and how many dudes they had. Iron Sharpens Iron. They knew that somebody had to. You listen to Jay talk about having Peter and Winstrom up front of him. Look, it makes it much more easier for you to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going anywhere. There are dudes here. There are dudes here. There are dudes next to me. There are dudes behind me. There are dudes pursuing me.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes beneath me trying to take my job.
You hear from the former Huskers that come on Vershawn's show all the time where they're like, yeah, so-and-so has to thank me for getting them to the league. So-and-so has to thank me for getting them this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Look, you're in a pool of sharks doing shark things. Don't be a guppy. Like, don't be a guppy. Don't be the dude just sitting around waiting for somebody to just come and beat you up. And then the excuse is, well, he's a shark. Well, there's a bunch of sharks. Then be a shark. And you have the resources. You have access. I think sometimes it's just a lack of focus and a lack of purpose. But there's a way, because Georgia Tech is showing you that there's a way. We can think of 6 schools that had no business being in the big bowl game conversation, and somehow they got there.
Remember Wake Forest?
With fewer resources, lesser resources than the University of Nebraska.
Wake Forest was in a major bowl game this year.
And again, I want for the fans to have what they deserve, because if you're going to support it at the level that you're supporting it, my goodness gracious, you deserve a killer program.
Yeah.
And I'm not wrong. Nobody in the program would say I'm wrong for saying we want better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want better for you. No coach would say, I need fewer resources to do my job. Every coach would say, give me more resources. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, we'll talk about it more when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Hot breezy conditions here for our Thursday. We top out at 95. Southwest winds gusting over 25. We will see a chance of isolated thunderstorms late this afternoon, but especially into this evening. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low 57. Much cooler tomorrow, much more typical for this time of year. We'll top out at 71. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket. and theticketfm.com.
It's the weekend. Do you know where your kids are? The dangers of alcohol, marijuana, and other controlled substances are bad enough. They become even worse when teens get behind the wheel or catch a ride with an impaired driver. Parents, it's time to start what could be a life-saving conversation with your kids about the dangers of underage drinking and drug use. Learn more at coalitionrx.org. Paid for by federal grant dollars through Nebraska DHHS and Region 6 Behavioral Healthcare. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Naloxone is a drug used to safely reverse an opioid overdose and is now more readily available in Nebraska. I'm Dr. Rob Rhodes, a Nebraska family practice physician. I encourage you to learn how to respond to an opioid overdose and administer naloxone to potentially save a life by getting the free Opie Rescue app for your phone. Be Opie ready. Download Opie Rescue.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
2022 is all about staying well. And guess what? There are lots of easy ways to take care of your mental and physical health every day, like eating right and exercising, taking vitamins, drinking water, scheduling those annual doctor's visits, or just resting. That's right, even a quick nap counts. Because let's be honest, these days we could all use a little more wellness in our lives. So stay well, Nebraska. For more ways you can stay healthy, visit staywellnebraska.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. We got two more segments in here. This might be a little quicker one, but it's all right. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Again, join us in our conversation, 402-464-5685. We're just wondering what Nebraska's going to have to do to get to that pinnacle with Ohio State and the Alabamas of the world. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult for a program like Nebraska to get the people necessary to get to those spaces.
Yeah, I bring up football because, again, we were Nick Saban having his conversation. Again, if Alabama is having this conversation, Nebraska can have this conversation.
Yeah.
If Georgia can have this conversation, Nebraska can have this conversation. If Texas A&M can have this conversation, Nebraska can have this conversation. And if you can have it in football, you can have it in the other sports, which, again, next thing up, basketball, that if you're having this conversation for football, basketball can do the same thing with fewer numbers.
Yeah.
Fewer numbers. It takes
it's a lot. It's not easy, but it's easier to get a program changer in basketball than in football.
Yes.
You only need one, maybe two.
Yes.
If you have three, you're set in basketball.
Well, pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
You're sitting pretty.
Right. So literally, because there's fewer required, basketball players probably have a better understanding of their value in that space.
Yeah.
Right. So, but to be able to say, $500,000 to 5 basketball players, I would imagine would do well by your program.
And the thing is, you give $500,000 to a couple 5-star basketball players one season, they're making more than $500,000 that next year.
Plus, they'd be here doing other NIL deals, which we know matter.
And again, if you're a 5-star playing with other 5-stars, you're a shark with sharks. You're gonna have success.
It's just
one way or another.
This is why you put two really cool restaurant concepts together, because they make each other better. Like there's the bounce off. You understand what that is.
I mean, look at Duke. They're about to have 8 players drafted in the first round.
It's just kind of sad. Like, it's just kind of sad. And again, the conversation is that we're hoping that Nebraska goes to Dublin.
Dublin, Ireland.
Has a long way to go.
That's a fun plane ride.
You better do something good with it. And if the expectation is that a third of the fan base thinks you're going to win, a third of the fan base thinks you're going to lose, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
And a third of the fan base is like, I'm not sure, and some of those will be okay with them losing in Dublin. Some of them don't expect them to win, but if they win, cool. Some of them expect them to win, but if they lose, it's cool. Like that's kind of where the fan base is.
It's a weird third.
Right, that's a weird, but
it's realistic. That's a thing.
That's like and again, text line, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that that's the space that we're working in. Is that a third of the Husker population is all in, and they're going to win 9 games.
Mm-hmm. You should be 4-1 at the worst.
Right. Third is like you're going to be 1-4. Like like it doesn't really matter. It's not going to end well.
Doesn't matter how you start because you're going to lose all your Big Ten games after that.
And then everybody else, which is okay. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know how much emotion to invest in it. Right, because that's the third that doesn't want to get burned emotionally.
They're just done.
They found some space that they're comfortable in, which is, you know what? I don't expect them to win, but I'll be close enough if they do.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to distance myself because I know they're going to break my heart. And that's the fan base. So for that fan base, what I want is that the people in positions of power, and again, the people in positions of power don't care what I think. But the reality is what I want for the fans is what I think the fans want for the fans, which is for them to do everything that they can do in the simplest, most effective way to improve the program in as many ways, shapes as possible. And there's a lot required. That's all I'm asking for. Like, color me wrong if you want. But to me, there is a way because we're seeing that there is a way. Fair enough?
Completely fair.
Fair enough. We'll close out Old School when we come back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
After the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. everything. It's perfect for us.
Like the Bowmans, you too can make your dream home a reality. Call us at 423-6811 or online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one, so make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Naloxone is a drug used to safely reverse an opioid overdose and is now more readily available in Nebraska. I'm Dr. Rob Rhodes, a Nebraska family practice physician. I encourage you to learn how to respond to an opioid overdose and administer naloxone to potentially save a life by getting the free Opie Rescue app for your phone. Be Opie ready. Download Opie Rescue.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's Favorites.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedmanlaw.com today.
Hey, it's Nelson. We all know life gets a little hectic. You're just looking for that right amount of balance for stress relief with your busy lifestyle while trying to not break the bank. That's why you got to stop by the newest Caterpillar Vapes location right here in Lincoln, 2601 North 11th Street. The Caterpillar team is made up of people just like you, wanting the best product at the best price. They can walk you through the largest selection in town, answer any questions, and find you that perfect balance. First-time customers get 50% off their entire purchase. Stop in and see for yourself. For more, find them on Facebook or online at CaterpillarVapes.com.
Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the final segment of Old School here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. DP asked a question in the break that at first I was like, oh, easy. And as I went on, I kind of got lost. I was like, wait a minute. I don't really know. DP, if you would, and again, you guys can play along. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Answer this question that DP has.
Yeah, this is where
or at least try.
Yeah. So I get brought into spaces all the time. Before I got to Lincoln.
Yeah.
Was to get into these athletic departments or associations. And when they're hiring a new coach or considering hiring a new coach, they go through the process. And the question that I ask all the time is, what makes a great coach? So to ask people on a regular basis, ask Husker fans in this particular case, what makes a really good coach? What makes a good coach and what makes a great coach? What are the 5 traits that every great coach should have? So text line, feel free, because I'm going to have this conversation with Barry Thompson on one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a great coach? And I'm going to ask you to give me the 5 things that make a great coach. Because if you don't know what makes a great coach, then you really have no GPS for your program. Right?
That makes sense.
You have no. So we just in that. So I asked Mark Arnweiler. This is what he said: knowledge of the game. And this is with no prompting, right? Ability to teach, relate to players beyond the game, ability to motivate, self-awareness, and humility to fill deficiencies. Right? And there's not one wrong thing on it.
That's good.
Rico came up with integrity.
I said integrity, like, that's kind of being able to whatever. Knowledge of the game, being like a people person, recruiting, and just winning.
And I don't think that most fans know what their focus is, because whatever trait you have in your head coach, that's the lead of the program, and those things will lead your program. I'll say it again. The 5 greatest traits of the persons you're putting in position of power will determine the 5 greatest traits of your program. That's literally how this works. And if you don't agree on what those 5 things should be, then you're never going to be in agreement on what success is or what the minimum or maximums could be. Period. Period, point blank.
Kool-Aid says dedication, emotional fortitude, expert in their field, recruiting, strong leadership.
Okay. Jim says accountability. Abe, he chimed in just saying, in other words, by a team, because we're having a conversation what the number is. What do you do with coaches? How do you get coaches here?
You pay them.
You pay them. All the coaches.
You pay them.
Every other employee, every other person in the program gets paid.
Cash. Well, checks.
So why would you not? Like, stop.
You can do that now. Why wouldn't you?
Again, that was the literal conversation we were having.
Like before, when it was illegal, people were still doing it. But when it was illegal, yeah, don't buy your teams.
No,
you still should have, because everybody else was doing it, and I don't care what everybody. Well, if everybody else is doing it, then yeah, I would, because I want to win. Whatever. But now you can buy your team. Why don't you?
You say you are, because you say you're rallying people for funds. You say you are.
You should be buying your team.
Georgia, Alabama.
They're buying their team. I don't care what
Texas
Nick
A&M.
Saban says. Well, we didn't spend any money. No, you're lying.
Yeah.
I don't mean to discredit, one of the greatest coaches of all time, but you're lying. I'm sorry.
Give me, if you guys would, over the course of the break, as we head over to 10 o'clock, Barry Thompson will join me. He has some great news about his young man.
Hey.
Good deal with that. But the conversation is, through all the money aspect is only a reflection of the 5 greatest characteristics of a great coach. If you haven't, I'm laying this out for you. I just want Nebraska fans to get what they deserve.
The coach determines the program.
We will figure it all out. We'll talk about that. Thanks for hanging out. One-on-one coming up next.